Hello, saxophones. I hope everyone is excited to play. We are going to begin by talking about the saxophone case. So the case should be laid down right in front of you, flat, and if there's a logo or a brand name on the case, you want to make sure that that is facing up. So for example, there's a logo here. This is the brand name Yamaha logo, and that should be facing up on your instrument case. That way when you go to open it up, the different pieces of the instrument don't fall out. So once you have your logo on top, you can go ahead and open up your case. And we're going to talk about the few different parts and accessories that you see here in the case. So first of all, you should have something that looks similar to this. This is our reed, and it's in a little reed case. We'll get to that in just a moment. You should also have your neck strap. You'll have the neck joint, and you'll have your mouthpiece. Mouthpiece has a cover on it, like this. And then this metal piece that's on the mouthpiece, this gold part, that's called your ligature. So we have our mouthpiece, and we have our ligature. And then of course, we have the saxophone. And on the saxophone, we have our bell of the instrument. And we also have all of the different keys here across the front and the side. So again, let's review. We have our reed, neck strap, our neck joint, and then we have our mouthpiece and our ligature. And of course, the saxophone. And on the saxophone, we have our bell of the instrument, and then we have all of our keys on the instrument. So we are actually going to get started with just your reed, your neck joint, your mouthpiece, and your ligature. So we can get those 4 items out, and then you can close up your case. For now, we will get out the saxophone soon. So with these, we have to make sure that we assemble it the correct way. So what you want to do is take your mouthpiece and your ligature, and the ligature goes on just like this over top of your mouthpiece. Now, if you're struggling and you can't get the ligature to go on your mouthpiece, that just means you have it the wrong way. You have to flip it the other way, like this. If you'll notice on the ligature, there's a smaller opening and a bigger opening. You want to make sure the bigger one goes down. And then the screws of your ligature should be where the opening is on your mouthpiece. So if your screws are like this, that wouldn't be correct, but we want our screws right here where the opening is. Now once we have that set up, you want to take your reed, and the reeds only work if they're slightly wet. And the only way, the best way to get them wet is to just take the reed, take the really thin part, and just rest it on your tongue for about 5 to 10 seconds, just like this. And once you do that, you should see that your reed's a little darker because we just got it now wet. And the best way to do this is by placing it on your tongue. You do not want to take the reed and run it under water in your sink. The best way to do it to get the best sound is to just let it rest on your tongue. Now once you have your reed wet, you want to take the skinny part, that goes in first. And you'll notice that there's a little label, a logo on the reed. That logo goes down. So if you'll see, here's the logo. We're going to place it down, and you're going to start with the skinny side, and you're going to put it up under the ligature like this. And now we should have something that looks like that. The next thing you want to do is make sure the reed is straight on the mouthpiece. So if your reed looks something like this, and it's a little crooked and not really covering the hole, you're not going to get a good sound. Or if the reed is really low and you can see a lot of the hole in the mouthpiece, you're not going to be able to make a sound either. So you want to make sure that the reed is perfectly in line with the mouthpiece. So the reed goes all the way to the top, just like that is. Then once you have that set, just gently tighten the 2 screws, just so the reed won't fall out of place. And the next step that you want to do is take your neck joint and the mouthpiece, and you just want to twist them on like this. Now you should see a little bit of the cork left right here. That's how far we should twist the mouthpiece on. Now we are ready to make our first sound on our mouthpiece and our neck joint. So what you want to do is take your bottom lip and you want to put it around your bottom teeth like this, just like a cushion, and then the reed rests right here on top of that cushion, and then your top teeth bite down gently on the top of the mouthpiece, just like this. We have our cushion, and then your top teeth, and then you just close up the rest of your lips around it. Now, if you do that, you should get a sound that sounds like this. Here's our cushion, our top teeth, we close our lips, it should sound like this. Now, I know that's a funny sound, but that's actually our starting sound for the saxophone. And if you can get that sound, you're going to be able to play the saxophone really, really well. So let's try this together. We're going to take our mouthpiece and our neck joint all assembled. You just need one hand to hold it. And then let's make a little cushion with our bottom teeth. And then bite down on top. And then you close your lips. And let's see if we can play for 4 beats long. 1, 2, ready, here we go. Now we're going to try an exercise. This one is called play for 4, rest for 4. And we are going to do it in whole notes. That is where you hold out a note for 4 beats. And then we're going to rest for 4 beats. And then we're going to hold out that same note again for 4 more beats. So it'll sound like this. 1, 2, ready, here it is. Rest, rest, again, and go. And that is play for 4, rest for 4. The next exercise we're going to work on is play for 4, rest for 4 again, but instead of using whole notes that get sustained for 4 beats long, we're going to play quarter notes that get 1 beat each, and that would sound like this. Rest, 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 rest. Rest, 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 rest. Let's try that one together. Play for 4, rest for 4 with quarter notes. Ready? Set your bottom lip, top teeth down, close up your lips. 1, 2, ready, here we go. Rest, rest, again, and go. Very good. Now, after you can play the play for 4, rest for 4 with whole notes and 4 quarter notes just on your mouthpiece and neck joint, then we are ready to assemble the instrument. So the next thing you want to do is take your neck strap out of the case. Go ahead and put that around your neck, and then you'll take the saxophone, and then if your saxophone has a cap in here at the top, this little black piece, that is very good. You're going to put that in the instrument whenever you put it in the case, but to actually play it, you don't need the cap. You can take the cap out and set that down in your case. And then you should see a hook on the back of the instrument. Take your hook on your neck strap and go ahead and hook it onto the instrument like this. And now the next part, you'll want to take your neck joint and just gently twist it in at the top here. Now you should see a screw on the side here, right where we just put our neck joint into, and you would just gently twist that screw. That way the neck joint doesn't move side to side. Once you have that set, we're almost ready to play. With your neck strap, you want to make sure it's at the right height So if you were to have the saxophone, it's hanging down to your right side of your body. So the saxophone's to the right. You want the mouthpiece to come right up to your mouth. So if you could tell, mine's too low right now. So you would raise your neck strap until it comes right up to your mouth. So if it was like this, that would be too low. If it was like this, then that would be too high. You want to get the neck strap in the right place where it's coming just up to your mouth. Now, if it's tough for you to move your neck strap, these can be tricky to move sometimes. Just see if an adult in your house can help you adjust that so that your mouthpiece comes right up to your mouth. Once you have that set, the next thing you're going to do is take your right hand, and the right hand goes on the bottom of the instrument. So you're going to take your right thumb and put it underneath this thumb pad here, and that helps us support the weight of the instrument. And then just take your fingers and hover them over these keys. You don't want to press the keys down yet, just hover them over. And then your left hand, you should see a thumb pad here. You're going to take your left thumb and put it on this pad, and then wrap your fingers around. So we should have our right thumb at the bottom, and then our left thumb here at the top. Now with your left hand, you'll notice these 3 keys on the side. These are called our palm keys. You want to make sure that your hand is curved around those palm keys, just like this. If you accidentally press the palm keys down while you're playing, you might not get the right note. So let's take our right hand, put it under the bottom thumb pad, the right hand's at the bottom of the instrument. Take your left hand, put it on this black thumb pad, hang the instrument down to your right, and I want you to press down the first big key that you see in only your left hand. Just one key, not the small one at first, but the first big one that can go down. If we hold that note name down, and that one only, that is note name B. And that's the first note we're going to learn on the saxophone. And that would sound like this. So try that with me. Let's do play for 4, rest for 4 on note name B in whole notes. Ready? Have your saxophone to your side. Don't forget about the cushion, the top teeth down on top of the mouthpiece. And let's give it a shot. 1, 2, ready, here we go. Rest, 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 and again. Very good, folks. Now let's try play for 4, rest for 4 in quarter notes. Ready? Let's try it together. 1, 2, ready, here we go. Rest, 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 and again. And that is our play for 4, rest for 4 exercises on our first note name, which again is note name B. Now make sure when you're playing the saxophone that you have the right hand on the bottom. You have your left hand on top. The instrument is down to your right side, and that your neck strap is in the right place so that the mouthpiece comes right up to your mouth. If you have all those things set in place, you're going to be set up to get a really good sound on the instrument. So what I would like you to do is to practice on just your neck joint and mouthpiece. You're going to do the play for 4, rest for 4, and then put the instrument together and play note name B with the same exercise, our play for 4, rest for 4, in whole notes and quarter notes. Now, I don't expect you to practice that for an hour a day without stopping. But what you should do is spend about 5 minutes and work on your neck joint and mouthpiece, and then go do something else. Then come back a little later, spend another 5 or 10 minutes and do that again. And then go do something else. And then come back later in the day and see if you can put the whole instrument together and try playing it on that note name B. That is how we should approach practicing. Not for an hour in a row without stopping, but little segments throughout the day will really help you become a good saxophone player. Once you're done practicing, we have to disassemble the instrument. So there's a couple important things to remember with this. First of all, we're going to take our neck strap off. And then let's go ahead and take our neck joint off. Remember, there's the screw here. And you'll go ahead and take your whole instrument. Don't forget about the black cap if you have one. Put it back in the top, and then set the whole instrument down in the case. After that, you can take your neck strap off, put that in your case. And then with your neck joint and mouthpiece, you want to untwist these. Remember, it's important to twist them on and off. That will help you. And then go ahead and put the neck joint in. And with your reed, mouthpiece, and ligature, loosen these screws. And you want to take your mouthpiece off every time after you're done playing. And you're going to put that inside its case. And you're going to put the small end, the thin side, in first. And just push it in a little bit so it doesn't move. This will help the reed dry out, which will help make the reed last longer. And then you'll go ahead and put this in the case. And then take your mouthpiece and ligature. And if you have a mouthpiece cover, you can put that on top. And then you'll go ahead and put the whole thing in your case. Close it up. And that's how you disassemble the instrument. So have fun practicing saxophones. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I'm always here to help.